Okay. Now we can actually do. Nope, that's not going to work. I have an idea. That'll work. That looks good. I guess we'll continue whatever conversation I was having yesterday before I got pulled off of the live. I don't even remember exactly where I was, but just sort of giving you guys updates. What's up, Mark? What? Just giving you guys updates on where I am in life, with life. Really busy with work. So it has been, yeah, it's been busy. Been learning again. I've been writing. You guys would be very happy to know. I just sort of like put the like end caps. This is like the 57th time you've come back. Oh. The question is, did I ever really leave? Did I? I guess I left in a way that was like regular. In some ways, I want to like keep the minor monetization that I have on my YouTube channel. So I guess I have to check in every now and then. Every now and then, my shorts like will take off when I talk about a movie or something. You went on a PoE2 hiatus, yeah. I haven't really been doing any gaming, honestly. I was just playing Skyrim for a little bit, and then I was just like, I don't really want to. I'm almost at the point in my life where I'm trying to do things that are like I really love writing. I do. So I've been trying to put my energy into that at least a little bit each day. And if I game, it just gaming is like empty calories for me right now, unfortunately. And I don't say that to belittle anyone who likes gaming. It's just for me, it's all empty calories. If I write, like I have this book for a writer's year, and I've just started going through and each day doing one. Like sometimes it's about like a small page, and other times it's like half a page. Just write a couple of lines, keep that juice flowing. But then I have a short story that I finished that I wrote years ago, but I finally went back and like re-edited like in a very like solid way, and now I'm probably on my like third like full edit of it. Yeah, I mean I like yeah I mean still like games, but right now it's kind of a drought. Like Ghost of Yote just came out, which I do want to play, but I don't have $70 to play it. Um, so I'm gonna wait on that. And then there's also I don't know. I might the book's going good. I put what I've realized about my writing is that I try and just break off too much at once. Um, so I was really concentrating on the short story and like dialing that in a way that felt good and complete. And I got some really good notes from a coworker on the story itself. I'm making some other edits, and then I'm gonna like get into like the more grammatical stuff because more I kind of got more feed I got a lot of feedback on like continuity and like content, and then she had also given me some feedback on grammar and spelling and all that. So I'll go back and fix all that, and once I get that into a place, I'll maybe try and shop it around as like a an entry into something, or I might just say, hey, I finally finished something like through and through, and then get on to the the novel, which is still going good. I have a decent amount in there, but there's just things in it that with like writing, a lot of it is just doing it, you know. And I'm really good at just sitting and like doing the writing, but what I'm bad at is getting caught up afterwards and like the minutia and like, oh, is this? Do I need to go back and spell check this right now? Um, like editing as I go, which just holds me up. What I realize, like what I need to practice is sitting, writing, and not letting up. Even if the different chunks don't make sense or even like go together necessarily, I just got to sit and write the damn thing. Because otherwise I get bored and I move on to something else, or I'm like, so yeah, yeah. So the gaming has definitely taken a back seat because I've needed to focus on the writing, which the writing's been fun. It's been very fruitful. But also like been watching some stuff too. Like I watched all of Alien Earth. I watched all of the show Untamed, and then I've just been trying to like look at those shows and seeing what works, what doesn't work. Uh, the novel I've been writing has been a like a mystery, like a murder mystery, and the the novel I was writing is a murder mystery. So I've been watching things and even reading things that are in that similar genre. I'm going to eat something. Again, trying to get some ideas on flow and how things sort of go with them, where they introduce certain things. So, but yeah. Man, go get your own food. This is mine. This is my burrito. God, I'm doing a horrible job with eating at the restaurant. I was doing really good with like my diet, and then I started working at restaurant again, and holy crap, it's just like if I can eat, I fucking eat, and I have no filter. Mm-hmm. Constantly snacking. That's what happens though when you're like working hard. I think is you're just like, oh, I need to like refuel. I need to refuel. Um, but yeah, I wouldn't just, as far as the title of this video goes, it's more of like a clickbaity. Like, am I back? No, probably not. My wife's back working a couple days a week. So on the days that I'm here alone in the morning when the kids are at school, I'll probably pop on and maybe do something like this on my phone and just, I don't know, kind of keep people moving on things I'm thinking about. I yeeted my Twitter account. If you guys didn't know that, the Twitter account is gone because I don't know, man. Like again, it's like it's all empty calories at the end of the day. A lot of this stuff that we consume on a daily basis, we consider like, oh, we're staying informed. Twitter isn't staying informed. And there was actually a really good example. The Free Press put something out that I was watching about how these different news organizations, even ones that are like on the right, will talk about, in whatever sphere, like they'll take the newest story that's on, and like everyone, the same person will get interviewed by all of these different news outlets, and you'll hear about this one story from 30 different angles, and it's like, but it makes you think that this is like all the world is. I've only kept Twitter to keep track of Magic the Gathering stuff and From Software stuff. I don't give a shit about anything else. Yeah, I just don't care about anything that's on there. It's just too much. Like I know my limits now, and I know that's not part of it. Um, and again, like people who are on it too much are missing out. You know, the people whose whole existence and monetization is a part of Twitter. Like I feel bad for them, man. And those people will clown and say, "Oh, you're just upset because you're not it didn't work for you." Um, and I think the truth is like once you step back from it, you realize like the value in not being a part of it, because there is a huge you're jealous because you ain't famous, Shags. Yeah, you know. Well, the thing is the one thing that the whole Charlie Kirk thing I think illustrated is that, and just a lot of the internet fame is that we're in like there's no reason to be like if you have a family, you probably shouldn't be in the public eye the way that some people are. We're just not in a good space right now. People aren't in a good space. And I'll tell you that I think a lot of this could have been avoided if the internet didn't exist in the way it does. Right? Like and it's a weird thing to say because everyone's like, well, you can't undo the internet. Like, no, but like if people didn't believe that, like people don't have the ability to listen to something online and learn how to separate that from their own reality. And it's and that's what's made people so extreme. It doesn't matter if you're on the left or the right. Like people have become so extreme because they take something that someone said and they're like, this is how the world is. This is how awful people are. Like this is Charlie Kirk is the personification of the alt right. I was like, well, Charlie Kirk is a pretty moderate conservative, like, and he's like spouting some of the same things that Democrats were spouting back in the mid to late '90s. So, you know, like we got it's just a crazy world we live in, you know, and I don't think there's not many people, if any, that really are able to like stand in the public eye the way he did, you know, and all these like keyboard warriors, people on YouTube who want to sit there and say that like they're doing God's work and you know fighting the culture war and all that, like they're not going to last 2 minutes in front of a crowd the way he did, you know. It's why they're behind a screen or behind an avatar. It's because well, I mean, it takes a lot to put yourself out there in the public eye, to stand in front of people you don't know, and research the ideas that you want to, and to research the ideas that you believe, and then combat people that disagree with you. And especially in a day like today, where like people who disagree with you, it's not just disagreeing; it's like this all-out, like you are the enemy of the people disagreement. Because there's like, and I think since Charlie was assassinated, I think you're starting to see people more like come towards the center and fall away from the extremes a bit because they realize how heinous of a crime it was. But you know, why does it take that to get someone back to, you know, back to reality? That's something you can talk about. The things Democrats thought about and thought like back in the 90s, early 2000s, that'd be interesting for sure. Anecdotal, sure, but fun, like a retrospective. Yeah, like I was talking to my mom about it, you know, because she was mentioning the whole situation. Yo, what up, Dick Around Brown? Living good, brother. Um, like I was talking to my mom about it, because she'd even like used the word like, the death of democracy and stuff like that. I'm like, I don't like when people say that because you act like, you know, you act like these people that we like elect into office aren't like a big part of the problem. People are, you're defending, you say, oh, Trump bad, but you're not holding anyone else accountable in this. Like there's a whole branch of government that you're just completely ignoring. And the one with like, one with a lot of the power. No, I know. I didn't say it, but my mom was saying how we're like losing our democracy, like it's being taken away. That dogged statement at this point. Um, you know, and she was saying some stuff about Charlie Kirk, and I was like, there's a lot of stuff that he said that was, I think right up everyone's alley, and it made sense. You know, unelected individuals are indeed a problem, but elected officials can definitely be taken care of faster and easier. Yeah, um, and the good thing about it is the interesting thing about when Doge was like doing what they were supposed to be doing was they were eliminating a lot of these appointments, these unelected you know spots, reducing executive power. You know, the problem that we're seeing now, I think, in politics a lot is that you have a president who it will just talk about everything. He's just a like he just talks a bad game, and people, you know, he gives them an inch and they take a mile. And it's I don't know. He certainly does himself no favors. Trump, that is. And but talks off the cuff. He's just trumping around. Yeah, like, and that's what like people don't want. People want like a more like presidential figure, and they don't want someone who I get. But it all comes back to like what's fact and fiction about him. Like what is like people will just always point out, oh, he's a felon, he's a con man, he's this, he's that, and it's like I don't even know what to believe anymore as far as all that goes. And that's what like we stop talking about the things that actually matter, right? We stop talking about the day-to-day stuff. We get distracted. It's like it's all red herring arguments. It's like I don't care. Like I almost don't care what Trump did in his personal life because there was plenty of things that past presidents did in their personal life that was way questionable, and arguably worse. But I want to know about like what is my day to day life, and again, that's why I like say I'll fight for local politics over national politics almost any day. There's like very few things that I think everyone needs to be like gung ho about, and that might be like border security and like the security state. What up, Static? Presidential like Gavin Newsom. I think those days are over. No, I mean, like Gavin Newsom's just a clown. You know, he's as much of a caricature as Trump is. You know, he's the anti woke to he's the anti Trump woke to the Trump woke. And yeah, the world is a stage. And like that's part of the problem is that like and social media amplifies that message. And that's like it's so dangerous for people most times to like that's all they do. Like all they do is log on, and I was guilty of it. Don't think I'm sitting here saying like, oh, I'm all high and mighty and got it all figured out. It's like what people need to understand is that if you're logging on every day and spending hours and hours and hours on a place like Twitter and on Facebook and on Instagram and watching videos on like of what's going on in culture and stuff, you're missing out. You're missing out, man. It's horse blinders. You have no periphery. You're and it's just a bad shit place to be. And there's no argument on this. Like you are missing out on, like, if there's one thing I will take a stance on, is that you are missing out on a world that you will probably really enjoy. I mean, bottom line. There are people who live next door to you or down the street from you or live in your area, your neighborhood, that might even be ideologically opposed to you, that you could still get along with and live symbiotically with. But a big problem is that everyone online is telling you need to destroy these people. Like, are you out of your mind? That's not how you move forward. You get people like the dude who assassinated Kirk. That's how like, those are the people you get when you start talking shit like that. People, everyone's got to learn how to live together. Making endless YouTube videos about how you like eradicate the other side. No, no, no. It's not eradication, it's integration. Like, how do you get people to integrate? Right? How are you going to convince people to come to the US and join and integrate into our culture and society when you can't even do that yourself? The people here can't even do that. You're telling people here to come integrate, but you and your neighbors are both born here on American soil, can't reconcile your differences? And people on YouTube, they're just endlessly consuming that stuff. It doesn't matter if it's stuff about like entertainment and culture or politics. They're all consuming it. What's up, Jack? What's up, Code? You guys need to like learn how to like live together with people, because I'm sorry, but it ain't gonna work in the long run. If all you're doing is trying to eradicate in one way or the other, dismiss people and push them out, is not how you do it. Getting people to understand how differences are reconciled here. My neighbors are hard Mexicans, and I love them. They're very enjoyable folks. Yeah, and honestly, people like that a lot of times are like, they understand what it takes to fight and like integrate into this world. You know, like they probably came here through, traditional means, took their test, they're American citizens, or whatever. Maybe they're born in American soil. It doesn't matter. But like, either way, like, you don't have the opportunity to go up to someone like, "Hey, were you born here? Do you respect the American flag? Are you they them?" Like, live together, accept the fact that other people have differing opinions. That is offensive. If you spend all day, if you spend all day on YouTube or on Twitter, you will believe such things. I don't care if you're on the right, on the left. People on the right that I know are just as offended by people on the left, and they're just as snowflakey about shit. You can't just let shit go. They told me I need to use pronouns. Get the fuck over it, you loser. Someone told you have to use a word? I won't entertain their delusions. Then don't. Then be a fucking douchebag and keep walking. Like, people act like on one side or the other, you're being you're being strong armed by these people. Like, don't you know you have the ability to interact or not? And even still, like, can't you play the game for a second? Are you that socially inept that you can't just play the game for a minute? Do you think every person I come across at my job is like I agree with 100%? Do you think like these big parties that I deal with like on a regular basis that have like millions of dollars they can just throw around and buy dinner for 20 people, that like I'm like, do you think I would like just hang out with them? No. They treat me like semi crap, but you know what I do? I play the game. I play the game. Do I think that they're respecting like the whole game? No. They've probably stepped on a bunch of people, but I'm not going to like refuse the service of them because, oh, I don't believe in you. Get the fuck out of here. If that's how you feel, get out of here. Exercise your real rights. well, I'm not living in someone's fantasy land, but I understand what you're saying. Yeah, like again, I it, you just I don't enforce the delusion. I will just refer to them by their name, not their pronouns. I mean, yeah, do you? All I'm saying is like all I'm saying is like you could play the game. You know, like people make a big deal out of the whole thing when it's like there's so many ways around it. But like most people like go searching for the problem, you know? Like people like again on the right, on the left, everyone's looking at things through a lens of like race and identity, and you guys don't even realize it. One of the things I was talking about yesterday on my drive to work on this take was I was talking to a friend about Alien Earth, and he kept mentioning how like oh there was like a trans allegory and there was like groomer language and blah blah blah. I'm like, what the fuck, bro? Like, can you just not watch a show without like I was like I wasn't mad, but I was like, this is the problem. This is the problem. You need to like at some point you need to be able to like turn it off. And there was things about the show Alien Earth that I didn't particularly care for. But like to say that like there's a bunch of like trans allegory and like groomer language and like I'm like why can't things just be like weird traumatic events? Like why do you think it's some weird thing that you know because again that starts making me think that someone else has an issue they need to work through and it's not, you know? Again, not a perfect show. There's some great moments in that show, but god damn, was it it's like you should like that shouldn't be the first thing you're jumping through and that says more about the person saying it than I think it does, you know. There's examples of this stuff happening, but good lord. Yeah, like I'll believe that in like kids shows, you know. Alien Earth is a movie. It like and even if a kid watched that in Alien Earth, it would take some really high intellect to understand that. There's some high concepts in that show that I think are really cool to explore, but at no point did I think like, oh, they're trying to turn us trans or push groomer language. Like what? I see that crap in movies and shows. I roll my eyes and keep going. If it becomes overly preachy, I just shut it off. Right, and but this is part of the problem. And I'm not trying to offend anyone here, but like we are hyper fixating on this now, and I think we shouldn't. Because I think at some point, like I think some people might be, but I think going in with good intentions and that's kind of what you're saying, Code. Like if you go in there with like good intentions, like the director has good intentions, the writer has good intentions, you'll tend to enjoy things a little bit more because not all of Hollywood is corrupt in these ways. Like there's a lot of people in there who like want to push messaging, but just immediately defaulting to oh why were they doing that? Was there maybe another explanation for that thing? You know, like that's how intelligent people think. I believe is like is there an alternative to what this message maybe was? And most people, I'll guarantee you, most people are just watching a movie and they're just whatever's on the surface. That's how they're looking at it. Like there's few people who I think are drilling down immediately as this is identity politics trying to change your children. And I think if you're at that point, that's when you need to step back a little bit. Gotta step back a little bit. That is that is really the only time I have an issue is when the entire point is to troll the conservatives. That crap is annoying when either side does it. Yeah, and Alien Earth, for example, that doesn't happen. There's that doesn't happen, you know. But yeah, I don't like it on either way because like again, that's how like the Daily Wire was doing their movies as a way to like own the liberals, you know, and it was like just make a good movie, please. Just make a good movie. Fuck. So, you know, that's all anybody wants is entertainment, something good. Oh, Riken's here? Where's he at? I don't see him. Lady Ballers was hilarious. Eh. How am I feeling on Candace Owens? I don't know, man. I think Candace like chugged the Kool-Aid too hard. I think she's a bit off the reservation. And I don't have like she talks a lot about recently it was a lot of like Israel Palestine stuff and I'll be honest, man, I just don't have she's saying what most won't. Yeah, but so is Kanye West, you know? Like I worry about stuff like that. Like I think it's good to say what people like most people won't. That's good to some degree, but I do have a problem when people just say shit to say it. Like I feel like we've really gotten away from what is like factually correct just for like bonus points to say it first. Like, oh, I said it first, so like that's all we needed, you know? Like I got it out there. It's the ad revenue. I'm gonna, this thing happened. Okay, I'm gonna have my comments. It's not about being right on anything. It's been like that for a long time. Just need a good comedy that goes off the walls and offends everyone. There you go, Reckon. What's going on, man? Yeah, no, I can see that, but it's not just her. There's plenty of people out there, and even in the regular everyday YouTube scene, circles I used to run in. It's like people are just too quick and knee jerk, and they want the ad revenues of stuff that's it's not worth it to them to wait and like see, you know. And don't get me wrong, I was plenty guilty of like jumping to conclusions on stuff, but like if I'm gonna say anything at this point, it's just like we need to chill as a species. Like the listeners and the talkers need to just chill. And there's just too much information out there, guys. There's too much information to know everything. It's okay that you don't know everything. You don't need to be up to date on every single current event. You don't need to be up to date on every single thing that Palestine did. You don't need to be up to date on everything that Israel did. You don't need to be up to date on every single thing that Trump has ever said and done. Your mind cannot keep up with that. Because then you get people, because then you're perpetually like online. That's why I say like the golden age of like we're like past the golden age of like news and life. Like as great as we all have it right now, when we got news like one time a day, like when it was like the 5 o'clock news and you got your news from a newspaper, that was the best because you had to wait for it. There's no jumping ahead to you know to the what do you call like you couldn't just like see it all the time. You had to wait. You had to wait your turn. So in between those times, it was like you woke up in the morning, your paper wasn't there yet. So what'd you do? You sat and you drank coffee. You drank a little coffee. You talked to the ones you loved. They went off to school. Oh, paper's here. We go get the paper. Oh, it sucks. Giants lost. I didn't catch the game last night, but the Giants lost. Shit. What else we got here? Oh, local kid goes missing. Oh shit, that sucks, man. Oh, it's you know, now all it's about is just like fucking it's like it's like people electing to get hit in the head with a sledgehammer all day. Like is that really what you want? So you get hit in the head emotionally all day, every day on this stuff? I would almost bet it's not good for anyone. Even the people who are like doing well and who are like making shitloads of money, like it's not good for them. Like there's something missing in their life. Maybe that's a family. Maybe that's like maybe down the road that's gonna like, the bottom falls out and like then what, right? I don't know. I don't see the 24-hour news cycle as being a sustainable model for people. Like people are going to reject it at some point. I don't see like the integration of technology into like biology as being something that people really want, you know? We've even seen like things like Google Glass, or whatever, all that stuff. Like nobody really wants it. That technology just like kind of falls out. It's like it's cool to think about, but it's too expensive and no one really wants to use it. It's not like fully applicable or you know what I mean? Like I don't know. People understand the dangers, whether it's because of science fiction or because they understand like I don't need to be a machine. I'm a human. It's hard enough doing that. I don't need processors in my head and people are turning to influencers. Yeah. Which is I don't know, is that any good? Like is looking to an influencer all the time any better? I don't think so. They've become just as unreliable in a lot of ways to mainstream media because again, it's not about being factually correct. It's often about just like what makes them money, right? Like even break it down to the most simple influencer, like a food reviewer. It's not even about it's not about going to places you genuinely love. It's about going to a place, putting up this facade of like, I'm here to like review your food. Like you see plenty of influencers who um who just throw a fit because they're not being treated like royalty. Like what? Like I thought we were supposed to trust these small people. It's not just like some corporatized review like, hey, oh, these people paid me to come here and say great things about their product. Like, no. There's so few real influencers out there with integrity who will talk about something open and freely. Here's my honest opinion on this product. I think we will see people downgrade the technology in their life if things cool off. Hold on. Hello. Fake number. Should mute yourself. No, it was a fake number. Trust no one on the internet. We learned this in kindergarten. Yeah. Well, yeah, you shouldn't trust anyone on the internet. But like that's what I mean is like people like influencers now. Influencer is the worst thing you could possibly call yourself. If you're unironically calling yourself an influencer, it's a huge, huge red flag, in my opinion. It is probably the worst thing you could refer to yourself as, in my opinion. Was that a landline? Yeah, I have a landline. Yeah. But like it's not even like really hooked up right now, so I don't know. I don't know why. We keep it for the kids. Yeah, content creator is another one that's just like, ugh. Okay, bro. I despise the word influencer, but that's the best term I could use. No, I understand. But that's what a lot of these people do is like people will say like they're an influencer, and I think that's like just a red flag if they're not being like funny. Just a red flag because what are you influencing? Like I would rather someone say I independently report the news on YouTube. You know, Dude, you should see. I have like, I mean, I still have my game systems, but like, I have a laptop now only. I don't have a desktop, um, and then my phone. Like, I don't have fancy cameras and all that. Like, if like, just tell us what you do. You know, I report on, I report on Hollywood media, or like, I report on movies in Hollywood. I report on, you know, report independently on X, Y, or Z on YouTube. Boom. There you go. Don't need like saying that you're an influencer is just means that you don't necessarily care about what you're reporting on or talking about. You're just there to make money. What up, Joe? So, and what we need is more people. Would you have ever hopped back on side scrollers by chance? Yeah, I don't think they want me on. They probably don't want me on, but I mean, I'm always down to talk with people. You know, when you talk openly and openly critical about like people, they they don't tend to like that, right? Like, I'm just not at the top of the list, but I'm always open to talk to people I disagree with, people I agree with. Like, it's one of the beauties of, discussion, like, at least I think challenging people and people challenging me to their ideas is important, right? It gets you to maybe research a little bit more about something that you know about, or you think you know about. Seeing a perspective from someone else is really important because you learn other people's, like, where they're coming from. They only care about their self-importance. How has Hawaii been, by the way? It's been great. It's been awesome. I love living out here. It's my very favorite place. I miss my family sometimes, but that's called civil conversation. Yeah, I mean, but again, like, there's so many people are they're comfortable in their bubble, and that's their prerogative, man. And certain shows are not designed to have pushback, plain and simple. Certain shows are not designed to have pushback. They're there to just sort of, you know, like the Midweek Hump was not meant to be like a controversial show. It was fun, like, when we disagreed, but like, the point of the show is not to have like constant, like, you know. Have I stayed in touch with Brahma? I haven't in a bit, just because like my time is like kind of opposite of his. Like, by the time I'm in work, he's done with work, and whoops, yeah. So it's like we just miss each other. But I have talked with him a bit. More open, civil, and lighthearted conversations are needed. Oh, I agree, man. Like, I think we just need more people discussing things in a way that, like, they come out of it knowing something, knowing a little bit more, or willing to learn something a little bit more. Like, personally, to me, there's always room to learn. I just don't know everything. There's always something that I can learn from a conversation, from an individual. Charlie was that light when it came to civil conversation. Yeah, and like, that's the thing, is like, you don't have to agree with everything someone says in order to appreciate what they're trying to do. Civil discourse is what is under attack in this country. I mean, certainly with the Charlie Kirk situation, it's obvious that there is a small contingent of people who wish not to allow people to talk. You know, again, like, people rooting for people calling and saying like, "Oh, Charlie's a fascist. He's you know," and then are celebrating the the silence of him through violence, like I think you need to take a look in the mirror because that is the very definition. Again, I had this conversation with my mom. And I said, like, say what you want about Trump, but he has left office one time. He has never he has never used political violence to gain anything. Um, he's never, as far as I've seen, weaponized the justice system. The justice system has been weaponized against him. Did someone say my name? Yes, actually, someone was just singing your praises. What's up, Brahma? I would say small right now. I would say small right now. The ghouls behind the curtain want us separated. Oh, for sure. And again, that's why you can't become the very thing you wish to fight. And what I've noticed from like a lot of the like YouTube sphere is like if you're in this too long and you're in the sphere of just talking about things that you agree with, you will become the very thing that you fight against. It doesn't matter if it's you know dealing with conservatism. It doesn't mean if you're like against like liberal, whatever it is. If you don't find a way to like like kind of cross over, like enter the middle of that Venn diagram, you're gonna become you're gonna start to become what you fear and hate the most. People ask me all the time, why do you go on those TikTok debates? Why are you talking to those people? Why do you even give them airtime? Because they're people. I don't agree with them, but I want to know where they're coming from. And talking to them humanizes them. Sometimes you have a good conversation with them, sometimes you don't. It's not about being a fence sitter, though. Like people use this term. It's not about being a fence sitter. People who are able to hold two thoughts in their mind are not fence sitters. They're just, I think, intelligent people. They are able to like hold the fact that like this is a human who may have had experiences much different than my own, and now I can like see where it is that they're getting these ideas. Doesn't mean I have to agree with it, and I can still say like I think you're wrong, but I see you. It's like what Charlie was doing. You can still hold your beliefs, but understand like what that other side is. And sometimes, maybe even rarely, your mind can be changed on things. Yeah, of course. And I think finding out what those values are, like a lot of times they take time. A lot of us are raised in a way, and like we take on the values of our parents. Um, Others, we kind of find our own way. You know, it's a it's difficult. It's hard. You know, no one ever said this life would be easy. Those and others ideas when they start name calling me names. That's when I check out. My youngest daughter and now my wife's son have cut ties with us and call us every name in the playbook. Yeah, it's it's hard, man. It really is. It's really hard, especially when it starts affecting families. And I'm sorry that happened to you. It's Yeah, I mean, and sometimes people will. Sometimes people will. Um, it's one of the it's one of the more difficult aspects of this is some people just they gravitate too far. I've honestly just started unfollowing, muting people like on other like because I use Facebook and Instagram for work. Um, so I just sort of mute and unfollow people who are too pushy with things because you're just not gonna like. It's normal to not interact with people. It sucks when it's family, but it's normal to push people to the side and just sort of fade out. It happens. But yeah, the name calling thing, that's that sucks. Yeah. I don't often block, but muting is something that I'll do. I use the block feature on TikTok because muting or like saying that you're not interested doesn't work. It'll keep the content keeps coming back. So well, this is fun, guys. It's good to be here. I gotta I gotta move along to work here because I have a kind of a long day, and like this week is weird. Our GM is out of town for 2 weeks, so I'm in charge. But I got a lot that I got to do over the next couple of days, so it's gonna be long. But probably do one or two of these a week if I can. I don't know. We'll see. But I'm glad that 7 of you guys showed up, and I'm sure there was more, but it was really awesome that you guys were able to jump in here and just chat with me. It's humbling as always to see y'all. I hope that I hope to do more of this stuff, but it'll be super infrequent and it will be off the cuff, very informal. Cat. All right, guys, be good. Take care of yourselves. Unplug. Go for a walk today. If you do me one favor, just go for a walk today and listen to some music and just sort of take in the world. Breathe in deep and hard, and give the ones you love a hug because you just never know when you're not gonna be able to do it again. So appreciate you guys. We'll see you next time. Toodles.